Hello and welcome to Standpoint. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. It's the only confluent state in Nigeria, home to two great rivers, the Niger and the Benue. It has the peculiar attributes of sharing boundary with 10 states, with a nodal capital, Lokoja, which lies on the routes that connect the major regions of the country. It is blessed with abundant human and capital resources. The state is Kogi in north-central Nigeria. But harnessing this potential for social-economic development has become a challenge for Kogi State. Since its creation in 1991, this is no thanks to the poor leadership and political crisis. After acrimonious conduct of the 2019 presidential and National Assembly elections, the state is in crisis again. The plots to remove the state's chief judge, Justice Nasser Ajana, is pitching the three arms of government in the state against one another. On the show today, we shall be analyzing the political intrigues leading to the feud between the state executive and judicial arms of government and its implications on governance as the state prepares for a governorship poll in November. Joining me in the studio to discuss these issues is Kingsley Fanwo. Kingsley Fanwo is the Director General of the Media and Publicity to the Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello.
Thank you
nice
very
to have you.
Thank you very much.
I think for the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
Kingsley Fanwo is making his, his debut on TVC.
Thank you.
Let's begin this, this way by saying Kogi State is blessed with so much potential in terms of human and natural resources, yet we're not seeing much development, or we don't get to hear about much development. What is the problem with this state? There's so much negative stories emanating from Kogi. Now, rather than development, at all time we get to hear, is it a crisis between the governor and Senator Dino Melaye, or, so what is the positive side about Kogi State?
Thank you very much, Ayo. I will agree with you that prior to the present administration in the state, we went through a lot of leadership challenges as a state. Those who were leading the state before the present administration had no idea of envisioning a state that can drive a very strong economy and take advantage of her location and all the advantages that are therein in the state. Housing the two biggest water bodies in Nigeria and being the confluence of not just the waters but also the mineral resources in the country, the state should not be where it is today. But we had a very serious problem with leadership. Now, you now have a leader who is thinking about the state, who is thinking about the future of the state, who is ready to confront the challenges head on. So it's becoming very tough for that status quo, that bandwagon, to accept that the change that the people had been yearning for came in 2015. So it was a very tough one for them. It was no more business as usual. So I expected to have this attrition between the old order and the new order of doing things. And that's why you hear of all the kind of crises and all the challenges, all the antagonism, all the drive to ensure that the government that is doing so much for the people is discredited, both internationally and nationally across the country. So it's a very tough one for them, because things have changed, and we have a leader that is focused on that change. And that's basically the reason.
Talking about a leader that is focused on that change, a lot of people will say, when people were saying not too young to rule, that Yahaya Bello should be like a specimen because a young man, the young generation will be able to connect with him, that he has been a monumental disappointment in the last 3.5 years in government. That when you are saying the young people should take over the mantle, a lot of people will quick to sarcastically refer to the young man, say Yahaya Bello in Kogi State. How is he doing? Is this a good specimen of not too young to rule?
Thanks, Ayo. He's a monumental disappointment to those who were floating fake schools, ghost clinics in the past. He's a monumental disappointment to them because millions of naira were flowing into their accounts because they had these ghost schools with very senior staff.
In Kogi State?
Yeah, in Kogi State. They will tell you the school is there. When you get there, there is no school there. They'll be having like 32 staff. So,
and collect allocation.
Yeah, so for this man to come and confront that monster, he is a disappointment to that group. But he's a monumental success to those who have been craving for a leader who will confront the security challenges in the state. Before we came into office, even up to January 2016, over 36 kidnap cases were recorded. Kogi State became the center of criminalities, of insecurities. But he came and confronted it. He floated Operation Total Freedom and equipped it and mobilized it so much that today, Kogi is relatively one of the safest states in the country. So he is a monumental success to those who were looking for a safe Kogi State. For those who were looking for infrastructural improvement, he is a monumental
A lot of people will say we are not seeing this infrastructure in terms of he's not commissioning the best. Anytime we see Yaya Bello, we see him behind Mr. President in Abuja. Some people will even say it's like a personal assistant to the president, that we don't see him in the state capital, we don't see him in Kogi State actually commissioning projects.
People should now know this. The president does not identify with failure. For the president to identify with Yahaya Bello, it shows that Yahaya Bello is a success. Let me give you an example. We had a lot of projects that some have been completed. In Kogi Central, for instance, the major problem of the area is water. But today, we've been able to put in place a water facility that can cater for all the 5 local government areas in Kogi Central. It is there. We've completed it. But we do not believe in the fanfare of commissioning, expending so much money because we want to commission projects. Our people are already using the projects. We had problem of roads and all of that, especially in the central, the east, and the west. We had a lot of challenges with our roads. Today, we have a governor who is solving this problem. In the central, a lot of roads, the GRA, Eka, Uboroke Road, and all of that. Today, most of them are 92% completed. Umomi, Ida, Ajaka Road, it's about 95% completed as we speak. The massive rice mill at Omi that we hope we empower more than 30,000 of our youths and women is about 92% completed as we speak. So we already have a lot of projects that have been completed. Kogi State Capital, for instance, used to be the debt capital of the country, second dirtiest state capital in the country. To some, they will say, oh, it's a minor achievement. It's a massive one. Today, he has transformed it to the second cleanest state capital in the country. And you know, when you do that, you are reducing the amount of money that so many people will be spending on healthcare and a lot of things like that. So he is a monumental success, but a monumental disappointment to those who were siphoning the resources of the state, who were stealing the resources of the state, to those who started the monster of ghost workers in the state and piping our resources into the pockets of unintended beneficiaries.
What's the issue with the chief judge of the states? Why was the governor feel he has the power to want to influence the removal of the chief judge of the states?
I'm going to give you the background to this.
Okay.
Our civil service was a cesspit of corruption before we came. You know, so many people are talking about the screening. It's quite unfortunate. I was a member of the complaint committee that looked into what happened. And we saw it that it was massive corruption. You know, we had a school sat holder who was made a medical officer in our hospital. A lot of our staff who were teachers were busy going to markets at Onitsha when they were supposed to be in the classrooms. So a lot of these things were there. We decided to go on what we call the staff verification exercise. It was a huge success. More than 6,000 so-called workers did not even pick our data forms. So it shows that those 6,000 were not even existing.
That they were paying ghosts before.
Yes. Also, a lot of people, thousands or so, were taking pensions on behalf of their late parents. These were the pipes through which our resources were being wasted in the past. So the man decided to confront it. I said it to so many people, Yaya Bello is not a politician. A politician will not do that. He'll be thinking about 2019. Now, November 2nd is here. You understand? But he decided to confront it to save the state. And now, after the verification exercise, which ended about 18 months ago, we decided that between that time and now, we are already paying also a good number of unintended beneficiaries. So we decided to do what we call pay parade. You are a staff. Come to your office. Bring your documents. Let us check it. Then we'll give you your check. So we did that, and we cleared like 3 months then. But the judiciary staff refused to participate. Even the legislative staff participated, and they were paid. As I'm speaking with you, 5 months' salary for the judiciary is in the account. All they need to do is just
How
to
much
come
are they owing them exactly? How many months are they owing the judiciary workers?
About 6 months.
6 months.
Yes,
And
but
you
they have 5 months
already.
Yes, already.
So what is the bone of contention?
The bone of contention is that they do not want to participate in the pay parade. You understand? And even the
arm is meant to be
wait,
independent.
even in the crisis,
They are meant to get their revenue from a first-line charge, not to be subjected to the scrutiny of the executive.
No, you are correct. You are correct. We don't have any problem with that. But the resources is still the state resources. Whether you are calling it first-line charge, second-line charge, consolidated fund, whatever you call it, the resources belongs to the state. So the state should know who is taking the resources. It's clear. And if they have nothing to hide, why wouldn't they come forward?
So who is going against this?
The problem is the judiciary that is against that. Maybe they have something to hide. They should tell the world about it. They should stop blackmailing people. Let me tell you something, Ayo. Now, the problem that the judiciary is having now, or whatever challenge it is between the legislature and the judiciary. My governor does not interfere in the operations of the legislature and the judiciary. So it is a straight battle between the legislature and the judiciary.
It's not influencing
and also,
that arm to remove Justice
yes,
Nasser Ajana.
Yes, so they should remove Governor Yahaya Bello from the thing and allow the legislature and the judiciary to do the battle and conclude it. He's not influencing anybody.
A lot of people will tell you that the legislative arm of most of the state assemblies, they are like is like an appendage to the executive.
It is subjective, and I will tell you that our House of Assembly had taken decisions that were so much against us, but they said they were taking it in the interest of the people, and we have no problem about that. They are representing the people. They are not representing the governor, except the person who is representing the governor's constituency.
Let's talk about salaries.
Yeah.
Kogi is, another, when you talk about states that they've not been able to meet the salary obligation. Yes, you guys spent a lot of time talking about this biometric, that you want to do verification and everything.
Yeah.
But after, what is the situation? Local government workers, state workers in Kogi State right now, how much is Kogi State owing their workers?
Okay, let me tell you that. I speak for the state. I don't speak for the local government areas, because immediately the governor came, he granted autonomy to the local government
and it's
councils.
not tampering with their funds.
No.
That fund that comes through the state account.
He has no business with their funds. Their funds go to them on monthly basis. But let me tell you something here. The staff of state government, as of today, is less than 20,000.
State governments.
Yeah, and the workforce of the local government is about 46,000. But the allocation that comes to the state government is higher than what comes to all the 21 local government areas combined. So it's a big issue, and we know this. The state government, I'm not sure whether between yesterday and today we've paid for December. I know we are owing December, January, February, and March. 4 months. Because, let me give you straight. Our revenue on monthly basis is about 4.2 billion.
From the federation account?
From both the federation accounts and the IGR is about 4.2 billion. Our salaries and subventions to our tertiary institutions and health institutions is just a little shy of 3 billion naira on monthly basis. And also, there was a bond taken by the WADA administration of about 20 billion naira. We are repaying that some months to the tune of 650 million from what we get. Now, when you take 650 million from 4.1 billion, you know it's practically very difficult, except we go on borrowing to be able to augment what we have.
Okay.
And also, let me say
Mr.
this.
Fanwo,
No,
let me
say
quickly go on this break. When we come back,
Okay.
I'll give you
All right.
I'll give you time. We'll talk more. It's still Standpoint on Television Continental. We'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll return. Please don't go away. Stay with us. Some months to Kogi State governorship election, I think the Independent National Electoral Commission fixed the 2nd of November. And the incumbent governor, Governor Yaya Bello, has just declared his intention to, do another one time in office of 4 years. And we are looking at the crisis in Kogi State. And I have the Director General of Media and Publicity to the Kogi State Governor, that is Mr. Kingsley Fanwo, with me. So we're talking about meeting salary obligation, because I don't understand, if you're a state governor, you have not been able to pay January, February, March, and you expect your workers, this is April now, this is Easter period, how do you want them to survive? How do you want them to go to work? How do you want them to be happy with the governor?
Yeah, it's not that we have not paid anything this year. Okay. I think November was paid less than a month ago.
November,
yeah,
last year's salary.
Yes. We have a very serious issue that I will bring forward to you now. We need to fund quite a number of projects. These projects I'm talking about, most of them would have been completed, assuming we're able to, the flow of funding, had it been very constant, then would have been able to conclude quite a number of those projects. So we had to reach agreement with quite a number of the contractors handling those projects to be paying them on a monthly basis. And when you look at the funds required to pay salaries and what we are paying for the billions, that were taken as loans by the previous administration, that we are paying over 650 million every month, you'll discover that it's very difficult. And what we are doing now is to be able to stagger it. If we are able to pay this month, then we have to fund most of our projects also. People need water. People need good roads. People need good hospitals. And we are putting all of this in place. You'll be shocked if you get to our College of Nursing at Obangede and see the kind of massive work that this government has done there. Our College of Health Technology at Ida, we have done quite a lot there. Then our road projects are ongoing, and a lot of things, and we are funding security. Security is a very expensive venture. So these are some of the things that we are doing that is making it very, very difficult. When you go to the issue of bailout, because I know, Ayo, that's where you are going now. You'll be talking about bailout. We've gotten bailout and all of that. It was the Wada administration that did the projection. And his projection then was that Kogi State needed 80 billion naira.
Bailouts?
Yes, to cope with salaries, pensions, and all of that.
Okay.
So we were working on that when this present administration came. They looked at the papers and said, oh, we cannot approve 80 billion.
Okay.
They approved 50.8 billion.
50.8 billion?
Yes, was approved. Because they know that what these people were owing was monumental. The person who did the projection was the foundation of the crisis we had with the payment of salaries. Because government is a continuum. We have to continue with what he was owing. And that's what we are facing today. We met like 5 months unpaid. Even his political office holders were not paid. Subventions to our institutions were not paid. Obligations to contractors were not paid. So we had to defray all of this because we cannot be giving excuses. The governor was not elected to give excuses. He knew all these problems before coming. He knew all this fraud and corruption before coming. So he had to come and find solutions, and that's exactly what he's doing. So if you look at it effectively, Kogi State is not owing. His administration is not owing. Because when you take the 4 months away from the 5 months he met and defrayed, then effectively and logically, he's not owing. From the 50.8 billion, we were able to get just 20 billion from it.
I wanted to ask you that. Yeah. How much did you get from the bailout?
Just 20
from this
billion.
Administration out of the projected?
So we still have an
an
outstanding of 30.8 billion. And if we have that
has not been paid.
Yeah. So if we have that, we'll not be talking about salary arrears as we are seated here. Because even the 20 billion is not just for the state alone. The 10 billion went to local government administration. The other one went to the state. And you know what we did? We are the only state that published the utilization of our bailout. We published it in the national dailies for people to see. And when they were talking about these salaries, even the ones we paid, we met. The 5 months we met, we paid everything, we published everything. What is happening, Ayo, is the issue of blackmail. They cannot contend with the fact that we now have a young man who is confronting the old order to build a prosperous state for us.
Now, Governor Yahya Bello wants to run for the second time in office.
Yeah.
He has just declared.
Yeah.
And people like us will begin to wonder that if we are having challenges paying 18,000 naira as minimum wage, as at the time that it was 18,000 naira, the president just signed a bill into law, and the minimum wage in the Federal Republic of Nigeria is 30,000 naira. Won't the government come to a standstill in a state like Kogi State?
If you check the dailies today, you will see there that Kogi is one of the few states that responded to the signing and have promised that whatever is agreed nationally, whatever is agreed by the Constitution, will be honored by the state government. We are looking at a lot of options. We are working very hard on our IGR as we speak.
How much do you make a month now?
We are hitting 1.1 billion.
1.1 billion.
From the 350 million we inherited from the past administration.
350
yeah,
million.
we are not going to impose new taxes. We are not going to increase the one people are paying, but we want to make more people pay. I want to block the leakages so that we can have more revenue. It will shock you that part of the problem we are facing today was because some leaders in the past mortgaged the future of the state. Can you believe that a state that has Dangote Cement Company, the biggest in the whole of Africa, is struggling to generate billions in IGR? The idea of that company was for the state government to have 10% equity. But because the leaders then were very selfish, they mortgaged it. The state government is not having stakes there today.
You don't have stakes there?
Yeah. So these are some, if we are having stakes in Dangote and we are making billions from Dangote every month, are we going to be talking of the fact that we are struggling to pay 2.9 billion naira as salaries and subventions to our institutions? These are the things we are doing now. These are the things we are correcting. And this administration is confronting that system. They are not comfortable with that. And that is why you see them going all over the places to say, he's not performing. He's a monumental failure. He's this. He's a monumental success. And that was displayed in the last election.
Is this not a kind of indictment on, the media team, the image maker for the governor himself, when he's doing so much, according to you?
Yeah.
You claim he's doing so much, and Nigerians don't know.
Yeah.
What we get to hear is, we get to see on social media. The last one I saw, it was actually hitting the punching bag, and it was boxing. I was like, I mean, how does that put food on my table? I'm not showing development. You are not showing me how you are ameliorating poverty, and I'm seeing the governor hitting the punching bag. And
punching bags does not stop the road that is ongoing at Umomi Ajaka Road. It does not stop what we are doing.
We've not seen those roads. They are not projecting that side.
What I want to bring out here is this. It is an indictment on the media team. I accept that. And when you put fire in the hole of a rabbit, the rabbit will come out. And, we have a governor who wants to just do his thing silently. And in Nigeria, if you don't tell the world what you are doing, then it's going to be a big issue. And that is why we are changing the narratives. Especially here in TVC, we've got a lot of bashing from here and all of that. And,
that's why you're here.
And that's why
you're here.
And that's why I want to say that, I'm giving the commitment that, in a couple of weeks from now, on weekly basis, we'll be showing the whole world. Through TVC, I've gone around, I've seen how massive this place is as one of the best in Africa. So we would take advantage of that to tell the whole world what we have been doing. So we are not keeping quiet anymore. So we've been driven out of the hole. So we are going to tell the whole world what we are doing.
That's taking it from Mr. Kingsley Fanwo. Kingsley Fanwo is the Director General Media and Publicity to the Kogi State Governor. And that's our package today. I want to thank you for coming, and I hope that you make it frequent.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ayo. And I know that my comment is going to change a lot of things here. I've had a lot of discussions with the top people here, and I've told you what we are doing. And we know that the partnership that we are going to have will help tell the world what Kogi is doing.
My good friend Galoro Kwemi too is also here, and Honorable
Wemi Jones.
Okay,
Yeah.
they both came here together,
Thank
and
you
that's
very
our
much.
package.
Yeah.
Join us for our next edition of Standpoint. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can also watch the repeat broadcast tonight by 7:30 p.m. and you can also catch another broadcast by 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.